In this dump episode, Bitcoin is currently crushed through its 21-day moving average and actually smashing through our extremely long-term area of previous extreme resistance, trying to find support. We're going to show you exactly on these charts what area we need to hold during this pullback before things get extremely dirty. Guys, altcoins across the board are also on the verge of their supports getting ready to initiate massive dumpage as well if Bitcoin does not find support. Just a few hours ago, Bitcoin swung to the upside of this current channel and actually faced immense resistance yet again right under 11,000 US dollars. And guys, as you can see from that rejection, a massive dump episode has initiated. And just how low can we go on this weekly chart? And as well, what does it mean for this RSI if we break this key level? And as well, we're going to be taking a look at these Bitcoin predictions for the final months of 2020 of these 9 analysts, but specifically we're going to be looking at 5 of their predictions. Welcome back, you absolute savages. We have a lot to be delving into with Bitcoin's price today, as we might finally be getting that price swing and that increase in volatility that we've been waiting for, as yet again, just a few hours ago in the early morning hours here, Bitcoin faced a sharp rejection at 11K, guys. So guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications so you get updated when we upload new content like this. And as well, as always, drop your comment to enter for this ledger. And make sure to include in your comment where you think Bitcoin will be bottoming out this week. Massive, guys. So we're actually in the middle of this move. So it'll be interesting to see how this TA plays out. I'm going to give you some specific targets that I'm looking for. And some of these are fairly obvious, but some of them are also extremely important. So if we start on this chart, you can see on the daily, guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is our 8th day being above the 21-day moving average for Bitcoin. And as you can see, we got a pretty substantial drop below that to this very key horizontal support where we face resistance for over an entire year, which again should technically, it should theoretically be very strong support, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Okay, we want to see that flip to support. However, that is outruled by some of the stuff on the weekly, so we'll be getting into that as well. But if we switch to this chart now, we've been trading in within this very tight range for the past about 4 days here, between like 10,950 and 10,650 roughly, right? So only about $300. And as you can see, this is on the hourly chart, but just a few hours ago, we came all the way up here and it looked as though we were testing to try and break out of here. We got rejected again at the exact same area where we got 2 rejections over the past few days back on September 28th and the day after that. And as you can see, after facing that rejection, it only took a few hours before massive dumpage was initiated. But as you can see, we're currently trying to find support above the key area of about 10,500. And guys, as well, like we were saying here on this 4-hour chart, this 200 moving average is absolutely vital for Bitcoin's price. And when we came back below this key level and failed to find a support, you can see a continued drop here. We've now had 2 confirmed really big price swings after failing to hold above this key moving average, actually. Wow, and guys, most importantly, what we have to look at is this weekly chart, because this is obviously, by far the most important thing. We've been talking about a revisit of this 21-week moving average being most probable, but our biggest target to the downside still is in that $8,600 to $8,700 range, but also 9,200 is massive support as well. So again, we have a fair amount of support on the way down. If we just pull out the VPVR, you can get a decent illustration of this going back over 3 years, including the top of 20K for Bitcoin. But guys, as you can see, we're sitting amongst like the thinnest levels of volume here, because this is where we've traded the least out of this entire range here, right? Most of our trading has been primarily between like 9,000 and 6,000. As you can see, most of this chart here, most of this area in here, we have not been above 10,000 for too much of Bitcoin's history, right? We've only been above it for basically this area here, and this very short-lived area here. The rest of it, we've basically been trading below 10,000 and specifically 9,000. Wow, so is this the return of volatility we're looking for? For one, I'm very welcoming of this because, in my opinion, I personally just love anything besides sideways trading, whether it's pumps or dumps. I think both are amazing opportunities to set yourself up to make money, right? But most key here on this weekly chart, guys, is this very, very key level we've been talking about for months now. It's what dictated the entire bull market, our last bull market. And this is a level that we've been basically hugging for the past, what is this now? Almost like, 6 months? Yeah, ever since like April. So this is a level we've been teetering and tottering on for so long. And again, if we do break this very key level, about 53 on the RSI, we're currently at 54.8. So, you know, we're not very far off at all in this weekly chart. If we get a very red week for Bitcoin, right, we have a few more days until another weekly candle close. But if we have another continued bloody week, that swing on the RSI, I think we could actually end up dropping. It is possible we go below the 21 week and come down to our lower targets here to retest what I consider the top of this pattern, which again, guys, is something that happens very, very often. So really nothing too serious or groundbreaking has really happened yet. Massive, you guys, and I can see through my dashboard, a lot of you are actually trading this, right? A lot of you have shorted the market. And as well, if you are interested in trading and if you are interested in supporting the channel, if you know how to trade, make sure to sign up with our exchange bonuses below, deposit bonuses and trading fee reductions. Wow, and something also very interesting, guys, is the SPX has not necessarily actually been too bloody today. So we're again seeing kind of a slight short-term decoupling from Bitcoin and stocks, right? So even though it's kind of, as of right now, this candle is kind of in the middle of its two wicks, ultimately it is above its 21-day and 50-day, but guys, it does look as though we are going to get that bearish cross with the 21 going below the 50. In fact, if we zoom in, yeah, we did actually, this is technically the cross, so you can see they have crossed. I mean, this is going to play out more, but I mean, this has already been, this is a cross now, okay? As of today, that's a cross. So again, that doesn't necessarily mean too much, especially if the SPX can hold both of these moving averages right around 3360. It's at 3380 right now. But again, that's not too bearish. But ultimately, guys, the reason this is crazy for Bitcoin, in my opinion, is because of this chart. So this long-term horizontal mixed in with this 6-month ascending channel Bitcoin's been in, again, we're at the very bottom of this. And if we're below the 21-day moving average, which we are, the only thing that I think we have support in the short term is the fact that this long-term resistance for the past year has flipped into support. So basically in the short term also, we talked about those pullbacks, but in the short term, as long as we hold above 10,002, which we're about $300 above right now, then again, that's still a higher low, which is still good for the market, and we can still actually recover from this. So again, taking a look at these time frames, it looks pretty drastic, but this is the 1-hour chart. And again, we were only revisiting prices that we were already at just about a week ago. Wow, so what do some analysts have to say about the rest of 2020? Bitcoin price predictions for the rest of 2020. So I have a few key highlighted here. So Denis Vinokorov said the market is testing the upper bounds of its recent range, and with the absence of fresh macro news flow that could dampen the risk on sentiment, Bitcoin may find enough momentum to break through 11. Okay, and even though we're seeing a drop currently around like 10.5 and potentially all the way down below 10 in the short term, I still think that that remains likely, right? With this volatility, we'll usually see volatility the other way as well, right? When it pumps, it dumps, and when it dumps, it pumps. So that's why I welcome volatility so much, because at least it makes the market not boring, and it makes the opportunity and the chances of having swings to the opposite side after the initial reaction more likely as well. Charlie Morris says the vast majority of Bitcoin's past gains coincided with periods of flat or weak dollar. The implication is that Bitcoin is likely to be a powerful hedge against US dollar weakness. How likely is that? Quite likely, given the current Fed policy. Matt Bloom says despite the propensity to buy, hold, and not move Bitcoin, the network remains buoyed. The only thing going sideways in Bitcoin is the price. Konstantin Kogan says we're seeing a spike in activity by new participants coming into Bitcoin, not yet reflected in price. It does not happen often, and this is what traders would call a divergence. In this case, the trend looks more bullish. And finally, a subtle warning here by Patrick Tan. He says, while it may be tempting to subscribe to the notion Bitcoin will represent a safe haven in times of instability, there's little evidence to support that, especially since gold and tech stocks have all tracked each other along with Bitcoin this year. A further round of stimulus or a smoother than expected political transition could pave the way for Bitcoin to move higher as politicians get past electing and get back to spending. Wow, guys, so make sure to drop your comment for the ledger. Also, make sure to smash up the likes. And guys, if you're interested in trying to trade this market, make sure to sign up with our links below, get deposit bonuses, and as well, if you want to learn charting, trading, and getting access to my portfolio and updates, make sure to take advantage of 10% off T4 with code BILLIONS at checkout.